for elite athletes with disability. It's the 60 metres. There is a mixture of disability groups within this race. Graham Ballard from Chorley Athletics Club goes in lane 1, then Ben Rushgrove representing Great Britain, Matt Cliff of Liverpool Harriers, Neil Fachie from Aberdeen in lane 4, Ian Jones in lane 5, Stephen Payton from Paralympic champion in 6, Michael Germ from Chorley, second Chorley athlete, goes in lane 7, and Daniel Norton in lane 8. So this is a rarely run event. I saw Graham Ballard at the Paralympic World Championships last year in the 100 metres, and he got a silver medal on that occasion. Has a lifetime best over 60 metres of 8:02. Ben Rushgrove, he's in the T36 classification, which is also the classification of Graham Ballard. Has some dysfunction throughout his body, but mainly in the upper limbs. Matt Cliff. Now, Matt is legally blind. He's only got around about 5% of normal vision in his best eye. He's got a lifetime best of 7.40, which is pretty nippy. Young Neil Fachie from Aberdeen University graduate, also visually impaired athlete. He's got a best of 7.21. Ian Jones, single leg amputee, and he came 4th in those Paralympic World Championships over 200 metres last year in Holland. Then probably the most experienced athlete in the field, former Paralympic champion. 3 gold medals he won in 1996 in Atlanta. He's 29 years old now. He's been around for a long, long time. And Michael Cherm from Chorley, another British international. He finished 5th in both the 100 and 200 metres in those World Championships last year. And finally, Daniel Norton is a developing young athlete in the Welsh Junior Academy. It's a lifetime best of 8.2 seconds. So you just get the impression that the challenge could well come from lanes 5 and 6. Ian Jones has been going very well in training, and Stephen Payton, European champion over 400 metres. He's got a great range and great strength, has Stephen, in lane 6. There's Stephen on the left-hand side of the screen. Next to him, Ian Jones. So important for Ian to get a good start here. Of course, everybody looking forward to the World Cup for elite athletes with disability. That takes place in Manchester. You get away this time. Stephen Payton going quite well, and inside him is Ian Jones, and right in the centre, my goodness, Neil Fachie is absolutely sprinting away. In second place, Ian Jones, a winning time of 7.58 seconds. So the diminutive Neil Fachie from Aberdeen won that by an absolute street. That was absolutely superb. So I think, as well as Neil Fachie's brilliant performance there, Stuart, one of the things we have to say is that we've got great strength in depth across the range of disability groups heading off towards those World Cup competitions, and of course looking forward to the Paralympic Games next year.
Yeah, you're right. Fachie really got away well, didn't he? He was only 0.18 outside his personal best on this, but by the halfway stage he was well ahead. Ian Jones next to him, holding his form very, very well indeed. Matt Cliff tying up just a little bit, but managed to claim that 3rd place. But that was a dominant run. Let's have a look from the front. Right from the start, Neil Fachie got into his running very, very quickly. His pickup was very strong indeed. And he looks very, very relaxed as he works his way down to the finish. And he won that very, very comfortably indeed. So Fachie from Jones, from Cliff. Good result for the young man from Scotland, from Aberdeen.
Hurdler Andy Turner is moving into the world-class zone. And now it's Andy who's about to measure himself against the quickest man over the obstacles this winter, Darren Robles of Cuba. Well, this really is the glamour meeting of the winter so far, with a lot of cash to be won, of course, but there's something else on offer here that really money can't buy. Maybe a world record. Well, that's what Ethiopia's imperious Kenenisa Bekele has on his mind today. He's just missed out on that in the last 2 years, but can he put it right today in the 2,000 metres? Britain's Jo Pavey is out to ink her name into the record books as well when she tackles a race over 2 miles. And Craig Pickering's biggest challenge so far. Does Europe's fastest man have the measure of Jason Gardner and Francis Obikwelu? We'll soon find out. In fact, we'll find out at about 19 minutes past 4 because this is the menu here on BBC One. We've got Andy Turner coming up very shortly, Bikila going for that world record, Jo Pavey as well. And then we've got a very high-class long jump too. And just before we head over to BBC Two, we've got that men's 60 metres final. And then on BBC Two, as I said, you've got this devil take the hindmost mile. It's a knockout situation. I'll explain more a little bit later on. And then we've got Bernard Lagat of America against Rui Silva, former European champion, and finishing off with the women's 400 metres. But a very good 60 metres we've just seen. Neil Fachie of Aberdeen is down there with Phil Jones now.
Yes, indeed, Hazel, and a delighted winner at that. Neil, tell me how it was running out there in front of a great crowd like this here in Birmingham.
Well, it's pretty fantastic. We don't get an opportunity to run in front of crowds this size very often, so although it wasn't my greatest run I've done, it's great to have a cheering audience, so yeah, enjoyed that a lot.
Now we're going to see you at the Paralympic World Cup in Manchester.
Unfortunately, there's not a race for me at that, so I won't be present, but I'll be competing later this year in Brazil at the IPSA World Champs. So that should be an exciting trip for me.
It must be disappointing for you not to have a discipline there in Manchester.
Yeah, it would be nice to have another competition here at home, but I've got other competitions I can work for, so it's not the end of the world.
Well done again today.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well done to that young man. Now then, different class of athletes, Svetlana Feofanova. She's